The Eagles were in another dogfight, honestly, in this one. They beat the Vikings 28-22. Jalen Hurts is the third player in Eagles history with a perfect passer rating. 2013 Nick Foles and 2007 Donovan McNabb. Of course, the minimum is 10 attempts for that. For Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown in this game, Chris, the second game both had 120-plus receiving yards in the same game. They are the only duo with multiple games of that in Eagles history. The Vikings side of this, though, Chris, was that they were 1 for 6 in the red zone. It just felt like they didn't close out enough drives to win the game.
I think that's certainly probably the most important stat of the football game. Now, you talk about the Eagles. Hey, I mean, we see they got playmakers. This is why we're frustrated with them in a lot of weeks, because we go, wait, you got these two guys? What do they call themselves? Swole Batman and Skinny Batman, right?
Yeah, there's no Robin in the equation.
Right. So Swole Batman and Skinny Batman. I mean, yeah, they have the ability to be one of the more explosive, fun-watching teams in all of football. So that's what you get frustrated with the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so yesterday, a lot of big-time plays by Jalen Hurts. Certainly, his ability to be hang in the pocket and buy time, or even be patient when he has time and go, wait, I'm going to keep waiting because I think something better can happen. It is dangerous. That was an issue for the Vikings yesterday. They didn't know whether to blitz or whether to rush 3 and drop 8. The Eagles had their way either way. So the playmaking ability from Hurts, incredible. But what I'll say with all that, perfect quarterback rating. Okay, let's get into the context of the situation here a little bit. I still not going to sit here and go, oh my gosh, it was surgical and that's sustainable going forward. Okay, we still went through a period of game where they got the first drive on the touchdown.
Yep.
And again, that came down to a fourth down, just having to make a play. Okay, and my point is, you can't just make a play in every big moment the whole year and think you're going to get to the Super Bowl, right? At some point, you got to be functioning as a well-organized system. All right, so either way, but they make the play. That's cool. They get the pick 6 by Jalen Hunt. Why? Because Jalen Carter gets in Carson Wentz's face so quickly that he doesn't see Jalen Hunt drop out of the defensive line. He throws the interception on the inside slant route, right? They're up 14-3. Now, we've all forgot this now because we've seen the end game stats. The Eagles couldn't do shit for the next – they had 7 yards for the next 5 drives.
It's a lead and a lull with them. They get this massive lead, and then it's a lull forever.
So before he hits Devontae Smith with 8 minutes and 7 seconds left in the third quarter, I mean, they do nothing on offense, right? And then they make a big play. So, yes, that's awesome. I get it. But do I sit here as a quarterback, or Devin McCourty last night, because he said it on the Football Night in America, as a player who studies films and X's and O's, you don't sit there and go, oh, wow, like, oh, no, how's the next team going to defend this? What's going to happen there, right? I think they learned something in taking shots down the field is certainly a good thing for their football team. They need to do that more. It's going to give the rest of their offense space, and when they take shots down the field, right, it's going to back the defense off. It's going to get them off the run game, and when they take shots down the field, it gives Jalen Hurts more room to scramble and run and go make plays because guys on the defensive side are running down the field going, oh, no, there goes A.J. Brown, there goes Devontae Smith. Right? So it opens it up that way. I do love that. But I don't sit here and just go, ooh, a series of deep shots down the field, and now the Eagles are fixed on offense, right? So that's where I'm just saying, good start. I like them attacking down the field, but I still think we need to see more. And sorry if I'm not ready to just go, hey, all the Eagles' problems are fixed here, right? And I'm not trying to be a jerk. That was an awesome performance. I'm just saying, as good as it was, there's still some things to look at to go, yeah, we can't be doing it this way week in and week out.
Well, the bar is different for the Eagles.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, and as an Eagles fan, you should like it because you won the Super Bowl last year.
That's right.
You're viewed as one of the great teams in the NFL.
Right.
The bar is different. And I think right now, Chris, once again, Saquon Barkley can't even average 2.5 yards per carry. It feels like this offensive line doesn't generate the same push. It's the same, Minnesota front that got bullied by the Steelers that really weren't running the ball leading up to that game.
Right.
So I think that's a big concern right now. This one from K Gemma 89. The run calls still kill me even with the line injuries.
Yeah.
They're not helping Saquon out. And why are there very little RPOs in that offense too? So much drop back, go deep, which Hurts is a lead at, but come on.
Yeah, they don't do enough play action. There's not enough, meat and potatoes to their offense, I think is the point of our question. And their run game is simple, as you've heard me say. Right, and they can be sometimes scared out of it too easily just because of numbers. But I think they could dial up the creativity a little bit there in that scenario. But as we've seen, when they don't turn the ball over and they just make a few plays, they're tough to beat no matter what. They really are. Now, having said that, I think they match up well with the Vikings too. The Vikings are not very good at corner. Their secondary, that's definitely known to be one of the issues with their football team. They're not very good in the interior part of their D-line. So I think they were so worried about being run on by the Philadelphia Eagles that they put their DBs in some really tough situations. And they couldn't figure out what to do. Wait, do we blitz? And now AJ and Devontae are one-on-one? Or do we rush three? And damn, Jalen Hurts buys time forever, and then he finds a completion or runs a little bit or something like that, and we don't know what to do. And yesterday was a day where he bought time and he found completions. So they had the Vikings a little bit in that way. And I thought some of their simplicity of their offense actually would help them out. I said this on my Thursday pod, that it would, with all this craziness that Flores does, this is the week where a simple offense is actually not a bad thing to have against them. And, that ended up being pretty correct there.
All right. A little on Carson Wentz here, I guess. Is he's 0-2 now versus former team. He had some turnovers in this game. Do you think that when McCarthy is ready, it's just a no-brainer that you go back to him at this point?
I think so. I mean, listen, if they maybe found a way to win some more games
then
and he could play a little more cleanly, because I don't think J.J. McCarthy's done enough here where we sit here right now and just go, oh, yeah, he deserves the job back right away. And his play wasn't stellar before he got hurt.
No.
Plus, he's hurt again, and he's not getting out to practice. So I get, all of that. But, yeah, I think that they will go back to him here. Carson Wentz has done a few good things, but, they drafted J.J., and the fact that they haven't lit it up, I think, they'll go back to him, yeah.
One of the more interesting things in this game is rookie Tyler Batty, the UDFA. He's just a giant edge rusher. I mean, kind of a hybrid player. He made his NFL debut as the sacrificial lamb on the tush push. Yes, that is him laying down here, Chris. Brian Flores trying to get creative of how to stop the tush push.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was a good approach. I was glad to see somebody combat it. And I think what they're doing here with Batty is just going, hey, what the Eagles do better than anybody in this is they get low and they create that surge there to where Jalen Hurts can basically ride the wave to the first down. So, but they took the approach, they went, Juergens isn't going to get lower than this guy.
Right.
We're going to make it a mosh pit right there. And they did a pretty good job. Now, I think the Eagles got the first down on every one of these situations, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. This is a similar approach to, you might remember 2 years ago in the wild card game when the Eagles lost to Tampa Bay. Tampa kind of did the same thing. They played somebody right over the center, and they just said, we're going low. We're going to take Jason Kelsey's feet out so they can't get that surge, and they actually made some stops in that game. Now, the Vikings don't have some of those D tackles that Tampa Bay does, and that's an issue for them, as we just discussed there. But, yeah, that was an interesting approach, and good to see. I mean, I knew somebody like Beef Lowe was going to be like, he's been in favor of keeping the tush push, and he certainly, I know, is a guy that's chippy and was like, we're going to do everything we can to figure out how to stop this damn play. Yo, homies, it's time to watch some games. That's right. We're on to the NFL season here with Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, Sunday night recaps after every game, and much, much more.
Thanks for watching. Peace out, homies. Remember, subscribe. Peace out.